Back to the daily grind, and shout out to the full-time patrons. Make sure to hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back bagel biting bitch boy, cause you know what time it is. It's full time.
MMA.
It's your boy Taco Bell Wani and another fighter that I'm low-key a really big fan of, and I think it's more because the fight week's coming up and I just listened to him talking on the Ariel Helwani show, the MMA Hour, yesterday, and it was another great interview. I suggest you go listen to the whole interview if you enjoy like not only trash talk but just good MMA talk, because Kevin Lee's one of those guys. I mean, you don't have to agree with everything he says, but it's gonna be fun, man. It reminds me, and maybe not you, like the Conor McGregors of the world and stuff, the way they kind of like just dismiss some of their opponents, and like Darren Till, like, yeah, man, it's what they're doing is good, but I just don't see it. Like, I don't see what y'all are seeing. Like, but like he was talking about Poirier versus Gaethje, and he said it didn't seem championship level. Now, me, I completely disagree as far as Dustin Poirier is concerned. I think Dustin Poirier is one of the best lightweights in the world, and he's championship level. As far as his experience is concerned, he's been fighting the best of the best. He's fought Conor McGregor, Max Holloway, current UFC champions. Fucking been fighting in the UFC since he was 21. In my opinion, Dustin Poirier is championship level. But Kevin Lee's still having his fun. He probably knows that as well. But he's having his fun because he was just fighting a guy in Justin Gaethje who's more known for a slugfest. And it turned out to be a very entertaining fight, a very fun fight, fight of the night. But Kevin Lee, who's a guy in the same division, that's like, whoa, 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 pump the brakes before you give this guy a title shot. I'm here too. That wasn't too championship level. Just throwing a little shade on it, you know, because Kevin Lee's got a fight coming up this week with Edson Barboza. And if he beats Edson Barboza, he'll have a great case for a title shot. Khabib, the current champion, fought Edson Barboza. If Kevin Lee can finish Edson Barboza, which Khabib didn't do, that'll make his case that much stronger. Also, Edson Barboza's ranked number 4 right now. Poirier and Gaethje are 5 and 6. If Kevin Lee can beat Edson Barboza, he'll jump both of these guys in the rankings. So he'll not only have rankings on Poirier, he'll also have, he's been calling out Khabib. He'll also have the fact that he, fought a guy Khabib recently fought. So Kevin Lee will have a great case for a title shot. But we heard Dustin Poirier, after he did beat Justin Gaethje, he called out Khabib. Yo, I want the belt. Fuck all this Eddie Alvarez talk, even though that would be a great fight, and that's kind of what brings a little more fun to what Kevin Lee was saying. I'll read what he had to say. He said, speaking as a fan, what are you really looking for? He just going to go out there and get taken down by Khabib. He's gonna fight just like anybody else will fight Khabib or fight some of these top guys. I just don't see too much from his style except exciting fights. I think him and Eddie Alvarez or him and Gaethje again, something like that. Now that's the part that makes me laugh. Whenever Kevin Lee says him and Gaethje again, that's the part that makes me laugh. It lets me know he's kind of trolling. He just fucking beat Gaethje in a fight of the night. But Kevin Lee's saying, come on, he just likes having fun fights. Put him in there with another fun fighter. Like, even if it doesn't make sense, put him in there with Gaethje again. Like, fuck out of here, dog. So to me, that was pretty funny, and I enjoyed it. That's why I kind of like, because he be trolling sometime, but it's hella fun. I enjoy it. I'm a fan. But the Eddie Alvarez fight makes a lot of sense, and it would also be a fun fight, a great fight fans would want to see. Not just because they're not non-championship level fights put them together. It's because there's actually a history. They had the no contest. Eddie Alvarez is a former champion. Dustin Poirier had his moments against Eddie Alvarez, the former champion, but before the fight was called a no contest. Dustin Poirier is a championship level fighter. Eddie Alvarez is a championship level fighter. We know this. Kevin Lee knows this, but he's still doing his thing and kind of, pushing him, promoting himself and demoting their fights to kind of get him. That's what he's supposed to do. If no one else is going to do it, he's trying to get himself a title shot in the same division as these guys who are putting on great fights, exciting fights with high-level guys. So I see what Kevin Lee's doing here. I ain't even mad at it, even though I don't agree when he says Dustin Poirier's not, or even Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje had Eddie Alvarez and Dustin Poirier Dustin Poirier, say what you want, man. He had about a round left to find that button on Justin Gaethje, or his legs might have gave out on him. You know what I'm saying? Like, Justin Gaethje's got some championship level leg kicks, I'll tell you that much. And Some people say, you know, you got to check those or whatever, but man, Justin Gaethje, he's high level. He's coming from World Series of Fighting. He hasn't been in the UFC as long as Kevin Lee. He hasn't been in the UFC as long as Dustin Poirier. He hasn't been fighting these high. So when he says Justin Gaethje's not championship level, I don't know necessarily, because I'm not a fighter looking at it like, does he have these skills like the champion? I don't fucking know. But he's did good, Justin Gaethje has, against championship level guys. Eddie Alvarez, Dustin Poirier, and Eddie Alvarez is a former champion. Dustin Poirier could be fighting for the belt anytime now. So when he says Dustin Poirier is not championship level, I 100% disagree. Justin Gaethje, I don't really know, but either way, I think he's trolling just a little bit. It was a really fun interview on the MMA Hour. Go check it out with Kevin Lee. But before we get out of here, I wanted to bring up this lightweight title picture, bro, because look how fucking fun this is. Even though the belt's tied up, check out what's going on over here. So we know Khabib is the champion, and Conor McGregor and Tony Ferguson are the #1 contenders. I mean, Dana White's, okay, whatever. So these guys, as far as fighting for the belt next, Kevin Lee or Eddie Alvarez might not be next. But still, we've got a lot of fucking crazy stuff happening in this lightweight division. I had to go to the top 12 because all of these are relevant. So we got Tony Ferguson or Conor McGregor. They could be fighting Khabib. Tony Ferguson's going to be out for a while with his injury, it looks like. Conor McGregor, who knows what's happening. Khabib's got Ramadan, though. So even though these three guys are probably going to be out for a while, check this out. We got Eddie Alvarez down here, who can now fight Dustin Poirier when Dustin Poirier heals up. That's going to be a really fun fight that needs to happen. They've already had the no contest between each other, Dustin Poirier and Eddie Alvarez, and they're both two top contenders. Kevin Lee's already fighting Edson Barboza, #4 versus #7 this weekend. Whoever wins out of that fight is going to be the #4 ranked fighter, and they could possibly fight the winner of Alvarez versus Poirier. But check this out, Gaethje's coming off a loss, but we already heard him before his fight said he wanted to silence that little turd James Vick. So that's a dope fight that I think happens in the lightweight division. Justin Gaethje versus James Vick. Whew, look at all these fucking crazy fights, dog. Nate Diaz said he's coming back in May or June. We don't know if that's necessarily the case. We'll skip past him. Michael Chiesa was on the Conor McGregor bus attack, and he had a little bit of an injury, but he was supposed to be fighting Anthony Pettis already. Once he gets healed up, he could be coming back and fighting Pettis still. Great matchup. Then don't forget Al Iaquinta just fought for the title, and he's left to fight any of these other dudes, dude. The lightweight division, even though the champion and the top 2 contenders are tied up, it's a great time to be a fan of the UFC, and even the lightweight division's about to get moving and shaking. Can't wait for this fight coming up this weekend between Kevin Lee and Edson Barboza. It's going to put a little more clarity in the lightweight division, but this is all dope, man. So let the full-time family know what you think in the comments. And by the way, patrons, just so you know, make sure you go check out Patreon. I put a couple videos on there, and I'm also about to do the full Fight Pass and Fox Sports 1 predictions for the next week's card over there. So, fuck with your boy. It is what it is. I'm out. And as always, thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell right next to it so you're notified every time I upload a video. I'm out.
This is #1 bullshit.